All right, it's Monday, December 21st. Back in the market we go. Let's take a look at what happened today in the market. NK, Nant, K West. Let me go back here. All right, NK West. This had the big move from April. Look at this, all the way up to July. Came back September, October. It's pretty much just floating sideways, grinding up slowly. And today this exploded up, 38 million in volume. Most likely good news. And on this one, there's your pre-market. This is at 6 a.m. Draw your line right here. It's moved up to 16. Look at this, come back to 12. Now, where's it going to come back to? That's the key question. If you draw a line here too, it's more of a wedge. It's a falling wedge. So really the big part is as soon as it breaks this line, right here, you're over. Now you're up. And look at the 13 and 28 wrap around. See right here? And then you get to 1750. So, this is a really good long. What's the news on this? Yeah, my computer's frozen. So that's the big thing. And big thing, you can draw lines anywhere, connect, like even the bottom. It's really here. Made that big move up. Now, is it going to fade all the way or is it going to bounce? Sometimes they'll bounce. Sometimes, they'll bounce a little bit. Now they'll up to the previous high. But this move down. 12, look at this go out. Right here, 13, it's above and starting to breaking above these previous moves. Soon as the wrap right here at 11 a.m., look at this. Went to 1750 plus. That's a $5 gain on this. Right now it's 439 too. The market is closed. Now the big thing here too, I'm looking at this here. 1250 plus. I'm just seeing how you play this. That's a pretty good line. It's a 50-cent line. You don't want to make it too small. You'll be stopped out. Even 600 shares. We'll just say you get in 1250. If you got all the way up the top, that's gonna be like $3,000. And if you did 600, 13, say you did 4, got out 17, it's like 2,400 right there. So that's a great long. So, this is the big move here. As soon as you had the cross right here, they start to go up. Look at that. You don't know what anything's going to do. You're just going by. When you see these charts, over and over what they mean. When this does this, it's a high move. It's made a big move right now. What's it going to do? It's going to come back again. Now, is it going to break through or is it going to fade down or go sideways? You got to watch for that. Once it breaks up, that's where you play your long. If you're going to take your shot there, that's where you take your shot. So 150. Excuse me. I'm just looking for the lines here. 12. The wrap here. As soon as you see this wrap, it's really good long. See the wrap under it, and then it's going to take off. See right here? Moved up so fast, and it's starting to go down at your 1320 EMA. So this is probably a real good news. Biopharma, M&A continues. NK West reverse merger with Immunity, blah, blah. Immunity Bio announces primary endpoint. That was at 6:05 a.m. So it was really good news. And that's what I mean. If you have news, the chart, everything's in the chart. See this line here too? That is a tight wedge, not extremely tight, but once you break out of this, you're gone. That's the 5-minute. The 10-minute, look at these green candles. Starting to build here. You don't have to be exactly in at the bottom. Get above 13, and then you're 17 plus. So the 5 and 10 minute are really strong. The 3-minute, You know, 3 minutes can put even tighter candles. So that was the first move down. There was nothing. As soon as this got over that move, yeah, it was a straight long at that point. Extremely good play. Positive news, not really low float, 34 million. It doesn't have to be super low float, like under 10 million. With news, you know, stocks are going to move one way or another most of the time. It depends how much, though. All right, ATEX. It's so dry. I'm in Philadelphia, indoors. You had a lockdown. It's cold up here. You're not going out that much. You know, you can't even go to the gyms, although I go to the gym, and it is supposed to be not open, but we're going. And it's just so dry. Allergies and everything. All right, back here. ATX 34. Not the best of volume here, but then it picked up. And your 13 is very strong over your 20. All these pullbacks. Look at this. Pullback, pullback. Didn't even go to the 20, went to the 13 EMA. And it was very strong there. Not the best of volume, though. You got to be careful with the volume. Those are a huge trader. $34 stock. I'm not going to be trading a tremendous size anyway at that point. But look at this. It's a straight long. And that's the thing, too. People are like, how do you know it's going to go up here to here? You don't. You don't know anything. It could go here and then go down. It's all probability. When a stock starts to come up and you see the move, you know, this move was already 36. That's what I mean. Stocks are going to go up, down, or sideways. I mean, they could be jaggedy too. They go up, down, you know, bounces. So you just don't know. But the probability of these top movers moving up, at least a sharp move, is strong. And then maybe a sharp move down. And then you could have, you know, this lasted a few hours, 3-4 hours. See what's the news on this. Interax, the whole conference call, first contract announcement skyrocketed today, so it was good news. All right, here's IG Pharmaceuticals. This is where we talk about. This moved right here at 7 a.m. all the way up, you know, peaked right at the open. So the move on this was the 7 a.m. move. And then what happened? It faded. Faded hard, but not all the way, but it faded enough. So you had your front side, then back side. And, you know, just faded sideways at that point. So that's what I mean when I move here. See, it started low, but it's so early pre-market. A lot of people aren't going to trade pre-market. The volume's not the best. What was the volume here? 9,000. And there it goes. And then fades down. That's a typical move you'll see a lot in small caps. All right, IZEA. It's clear. Look at this. Sometimes just look at the chart. I mean, you can't look at every chart, but I'm just saying look at the chart. That's why these recaps help and everything. Narrow these moves down in the morning. When you see this at 105, look at this. Back and forth. It's clearly 105. It has to get over, and it did. And it goes to 140 plus. So it's a straight long there. All right, here's WBAI 500.com limited. Need some water. All right, this move here got the 350 plus. Volume here, 243,000, 10,000. Really started to pick up. See, it's like floating away from the 13 EMA, and this exploded up. Look at that. That's at 1 million. Then, you know, came down pretty hard, test that 5, made another move up before it faded down. So, see this starting to float here. See, this is holding to pre-market. Didn't really go down hard. It was holding that, you know, 325 zone right here, and then really pulled up. And then, you know, eventually it faded. But again, it's another nice sharp move from, you know, 9 a.m. to 11. 8 a.m. to 11, I would say, is the biggest moves. Biggest moves. Then you're going to have all kinds of lower volume and fades. Here's a KOPN, $2 line. See this? That's today's my opening line right here. And then let's see here. Got above right here, the 210 line, and took off the 260 plus. And that play, not much volume on that. Lawrence. Here's QS, the former runner. Look at this. This was at 20 back in December, early December. Look at this, 2 down days, red candle, exploded up. But to see the thing on this too, you know, people lose track of stocks. There's so many stocks. When you see this still above the 1320, it's clearly above. Unless it goes through here, you know, it's still in play as a long. So it's one of the things I noticed. And, you know, this started to float up too. Now this takes big lines here. So let's do a $5 line. Just gets to the 75 line. It's holding right here about 73.45 and takes off long to 100 plus. It's an incredible move. I need to see something. 40. Yeah, it's a nice $1,000 gain. If you make these lines tighter, this is a 5 minute. I mean, if you make it a $2 line right here. I mean, it really didn't put in nothing huge as far as candles. Did this and this. But you could put in $2 line. It's just a great long there. On the 10 minute, look at that hammer. That's a sign too. Look at individual candles too, wherever you're at, you know, on the chart. Right here was a 74 line. And then look at a hammer. Hammered down, came back up. That is a bullish sign. Your 1320 EMA crossing up. And then it took off long. 1 second. Hello? Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. All right. All right. All right. All right, we are back. So QS, it's a tremendous long right there. Here's EDIT, edit medicine. And this is another one. You know, this is a straight up move, straight up momentum. You see this big candle here. Well, let's get to the 5 minute. All right, a big candle here. This is like 64 line. These are pretty tight lines. Yeah, the next line 66 comes back to 66.06. Might have missed that because I don't play above 5-cent line. And then it keeps going. There's a strong move right there. Break it down to it. Another $5 line. It's pretty wide. Did make that, but that was the move right there. So, I mean, you had time on this one. See this? You're going up, going up. It's pure momentum right now. This low came back to 68 exactly. And right here too, when you see this, see what it does. It did this, and it takes off. So it's a really good long. Playing line to line. And remember, low, middle for me, and about high of the screen. And when VO took off 10 to 14 plus. Here's FUBU, 41 all the way to 52. Here's HGen. 16 all the way to 1975 plus. This is another pre-market move. See this? Up, big shooting star candle, and that changed the direction of the pattern, and there it goes. And then it bounced up a little bit. LAZR laser. This has been, in the talks lately of people. Look at this. Came all the way back, went through that 20 EMA fast, but it went too fast. See this? It didn't cross down. It came so fast, and then eventually bounced back up. So 29, 30, and took off. Tougher trade, a lot of strong candles in there both ways. BLDR, move up to 20, 2050, 21, and really took off late. Look at that. Remember, I called this back in November. Look at this wedge right here. Remember I said coming out of the wedge, and then we did this, came back up. Yeah, it's all kind of very tough to play this though. I mean, you can keep your stop here, but then it came up again. Then look at this. So it was grindy, not like a straight long, and this exploded today. Unbelievable long. That's why you hold these stocks. So if you came out of the wedge here and you're holding here, never broke there, stay long, you would have killed it. What else is here? Beam. There's your hammer candle. Took off at 70 all the way to 90. That's a real good gain right there. Here's Mara. Look at this. This ripping with Bitcoin and everything. I think this is involved in Bitcoin. 925, found support at 10. Took off to 11 plus. Another great long. Here's UAVS too. It's an extremely sharp candle. Came all the way up to 450. Came back a little bit, but then took off again a little bit to 525. The market is, I don't know if I said earlier, the market was still, I forget, 20 minutes ago. Actually, it was closed. It's 4:55 now, so the market's been closed. Just trying to see what the market did here. So once again, we're seeing great action in small caps. The top runners, you don't need 300-400% too. If you get great moves, like there's the whole list from my list is like 21% to almost like 60. There's great moves. You want volatility. You want, at least $1 gain on these moves. You make $1 gain, you're making 1,000 plus easy. S&P was minus 14, Dow Jones plus 37. What I see here. My screen is all messed up here. Yeah, here we go. So Dow Jones up 37, S&P minus 14, NASDAQ minus 13, small caps minus 1. VIX was up 16%, 25.16. So some great runners today. NK right here. Did that move up? sideways down, then move back up. So once it's got the 13, yeah, it's a $4 gain. Yeah, you can play this too. You can play this a wide line, like a $1 line. You can make it a little bit tighter. Yeah, that's the thing about keeping these lines, keeping where your stops are. Yeah, it depends how you play it here. So yes, it's 12. A pretty big line. The way it was moving, it did put in some pretty big candles, but maybe $12, $12.50 line. So it's a really good line there. All right, again, pre-market's where it's at. You want to start and see how these are moving pre-market. A lot of the times, like when you see this, okay, you know what it's going to do. You know it's going to fade down. It's not going to go straight up, and it'll come back. So you know some of the moves on that. Pre-market is, you could have the move up, the move down, the move high or middle, and see what it does. Then if you want to wait for the open two, you don't want to play pre-market, watch the stock. You could just stock this as a top gainer and see what it does here. Draw your line. If it breaks over your line, like right here, once it get over 12.50, 13, you're solid here. That's how you get to play it. All right. So another strong day in the market. The SPY put in a huge hammer. Is this right, or is this? Yeah, that was right, because we fell 400 stimulus news. It's a big hammer, hammered all the way down. We're trying to come back up. We're still forming a giant wedge here. VIX put in a huge move today. 26. How high did this go? It went to 28.50. Just trying to come back up a little bit. Looks like volatility is here to stay. I think the next few months after Christmas. Look at this move right here. See how tight this UVXY is? Look at your lines. 1, 2, 3, 4, and it's all connecting. Remember, like I said, it's going to explode up. See, above right now, looks like this could be the move. We'll see. So it's pretty strong. Here's DFIN. It hit this top at like 20. Coming down hard right here. And look at this right here. It's still negative. See, you have red over white. That's a big hollow candle. It's usually bullish. See the weekly's crossing down now. Looks like you got to hold this though at 14 level. There's the 4 hour. Still downtrend a little bit. We might come up again and bounce back down. We'll see. When you see the overall chart, this is at 34. It's going to go under 20 now at this point. Just a matter of where it goes exactly. So that's in on that. All right, just a few rundown on your top stocks. Top stocks and small caps. I mean, there's trades everywhere right now, long, short. ETFs, you can trade almost anything at this point. It just depends what you're looking for. Even swing trades. You look at Boeing too. Boeing, I think, is part of DFIN. Yeah, that's a move down right here. All right, so that's it for today. Please subscribe and like the channel. We will be back for more tomorrow. Peace.